Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the XLNC Midweight Testing Grounds. My name is Finnick. Joining me on the analyst desk today is Jakumi, and we're getting ready to go for the third game of the night. But before that, we're going to do a little bit of analysis on that second game. How are we feeling about that second game, about both those teams, and of course, going into the finals tonight? How do we feel about the world-class Outlaws?
Honestly, their mid game was, despite some of the flaws they had in the early game, their mid to late game was pretty much was as it could be better in these types of things. It was as good as it will get tonight, since the game is already over, and just that Kindred and the Kindred pickup and the Nico pickup kind of really turned our heads a bit and kind of blew out our expectations, for the lack of better wording.
Yeah, the Kindred pick is one that we've seen rise in popularity up against the likes of the Trundle and the Graves. Not something you'll typically see against the Olaf, but it worked very well in this particular case. Real's early game wasn't particularly gank heavy, but at the same time, Yoko Kurama, or Kurama, I should say, on the Olaf was not able to kind of punish the more farm-heavy Kindred style early, and because of that, she's able to get to that mid-game power spike, really start carrying the game from that mid-game onwards, give time for the Aphelios to scale up and really go into these late-game team fights. Just really well played from Reals in the jungle here throughout the mid-game. Early game, of course, I think there was a bit of a mistake or miscommunication, maybe a misunderstanding of the draft from the side of Divine Ascension. I feel like you have this Olaf, you have the ability to get lane priority in this top and mid lane with the Ornn and the Zilean, and they didn't really use that to punish the Kindred, didn't really go for any invades onto the marks or anything of that nature, and Olaf just couldn't snowball and couldn't really get off the ground that game. That being said, we take a look at this top lane matchup. I think Rosa did a very good job on the Ornns in the beginning of the game, but there were a couple of missed opportunities, and then towards the end, I feel like nerves definitely got to him there. What do you kind of make of what happened there with the top side of the map?
Well, the top side of the map, there was some ults that were kind of questionable. They could have from both the Olaf and the Ornn. It was kind of a lot of miscommunication and just a lot of misplays from that side, where there were a couple of times that champion name,
Ornn, Olaf, Shen, Kindred.
Shen, where Shen should have died in that top lane, but it came up to where he got away, or he got a kill onto the Ornn.
Yeah, Shen is one of those champions that does a surprising amount of damage early, right? Went for the Tiamat start here instead of the Bomby Cinder. Not something you'll typically see in a tank v tank matchup, but it did work out well for him. Meanwhile, though, in the mid lane, Chris Meister on this Nico did wonders around these mid-game skirmishes. Had quite a few good Pop Blossoms. I saw good Tangle Barbs, I believe, onto the Kaisa, if I'm not mistaken, directly out of the Zilean ulti, right back into the Pop Blossom there as well. So Chris Meister did some very good plays on that Nico. That being said, moving on to the next game of the night, this will be World Class Outlaws versus the winner of the first game of the night, which is Ironic. Ironic, of course, had a complete stomp in the first game. The second game, World Class Outlaws, turned into a stomp in this mid to late game, although they didn't really draft for the early game. What do you make of this matchup? How do you think this may go?
Honestly, I think it could go either way because of how their respective games that were casted went, and both teams did come out 2-2, or 2-2, 2-0. Well, as I said before, I have an open mind for both sides.
Yeah, and I definitely am interested to see how the jungle matchup will play out or in the first game of the night. Of course, this is my account did very well on that Karthus pickup. Was very good at getting that global pressure. Both seem to be playing more towards those power farming style junglers. I wonder if one of them will go towards the more aggressive early game junglers or not this game. All that being said, though, we're about to get in a draft for game number 3 of the night. It's the finals between Ironic and World Class Outlaws. It's going to be brought to you by Idea, PC, and Arclesi. Take it away.
Thank you very much there, Finnick. Very much appreciated. And again, like I said, looking at these drafts, then the games that these players have had, they've definitely just had some really, really pop-off performances. I mean, we saw in that game number 1, Ironic, we saw Yusuke there on the Karthus, able to get huge ultimates off, and World Class already going straight for the Kassadin ban. Mr. Snow had quite one hell of a game on the pick, able to have so much pressure in the side wave, where it was just absolutely impossible for them to even answer any of that pressure.
Yep, and we will see the first bans come down here in the pro draft. It's Kassadin on the side of World Class and Aphelios on the side of Ironic. Ezreal looks like he wants to be the third ban here, but really that Kassadin ban is completely targeted at Ironic. They're not going to get to play that same comp again. World Class, obviously, loyal viewers of the stream, you'll love to see it. Cassiopeia gonna be the 4th ban here. Interesting pick. I'm not really sure why, but that's just an interesting one that's kind of on meta right now.
Absolutely is, and we did see some Cassiopeia nerfs just because it was so prevalent, right? And not only was it prevalent in the mid lane where it should exist, but it was prevalent in other lanes as well. Most notably the AD carry role as a secondary role, but people were even playing Cassiopeia top and just taking Conquer and stomping lane with it. So, appropriate to see the nerfs come through. I'm thinking maybe it is a targeted ban, quite possibly, or maybe it is a ban that they're looking to take away, for a certain kind of team that they want to draft into it, and they just want to avoid the petrifying gaze. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what they do decide to go and round it out with. The Set and the Braum getting locked up and locked in here for both teams. Might just be a Braum pick. We still have to wait 5 more seconds. Champions are not locked in until they're officially locked in. There it is, going on its way. But World Class going to draft themselves the Set for that triple flex.
Yep, and we did see Ironic in their first game tonight. They really did have a great ban game looking at their draft, knowing what they needed to get rid of, and that was how they came out with that amazingly powerful Kassadin. But World Class made sure that that's not going to be a problem this time. Instead, we're going to see a Volibear here. I love to see Volibear, especially after his rework. He spent a little bit of time in the low numbers, but he got some buffs, and now he's back. And that Volibear is buff. It's really fun to see it happen. It's a little bit repetitive, but you love to see it. Nautilus coming down from the side of World Class, ensuring that Set is not support.
I was so excited to see the Volibear locked in. I am so ready for some tower dives and some just shenanigans, so I'm very excited to see that pick. But yeah, Nautilus getting locked up in here. Looking to provide a little bit of CC for those Volibear turret dives, I'm sure. Vayne gonna get locked in here. An AD carry that we have not seen a whole lot in the amateur scene. Actually gonna get picked up here for the side of World Class. We will get to see Kathy on that pick this game, so it should be exciting. If it's anywhere near the skill gap, or I should say skill cap that he had on his Aphelios, if we get to see kind of the same micro play here coming from the Vayne, it should be very, very exciting for us to watch. I think it also pairs really, really well, considering that they have the Volibear on their side now, also Lucian as well. Vayne can actually use the Condemn to be able to throw the Volibear back, if it is in the jungle, possibly. It can also throw the Lucian back or the Braum back to be able to avoid things like, passive stacks from the Braum after Winter's Bite.
Yep, and I really don't like the Vayne blind pick. I don't super enjoy the Lucian response either, but all of the meta ADCs have already been banned away this game, and Lucian does have a little bit of a better range than Vayne. As long as he and Braum can work together, make sure not to get caught off by Nautilus's hook. That looks like it'll be a pretty static bot lane. If Nautilus, however, decides to pop off, get some really good hooks onto Lucian where Vayne can get him in range and just start drilling him with those bolts, that's going to be a problem. Instead, we are going to see some bans come down. Olaf for the side of Ironic. We're finally seeing some jungle pressure here, as well as it looks like it's going to be Sejuani for their last. And on the side of World Class, they're banning off Vladimir. It looks like they're a little bit worried about their top lane.
Absolutely here, trying to deny. I mean, you actually look at all 4 of the picks, the bans here from the side of World Class Gaming. They're all late game scaling monsters. I mean, the Castan, Ezreal, Kai'Sa, Vladimir, they're just saying, we're not going to let you play for the late game scale. We're going to ban it all away here. Darius there also getting banned away here. So a lot of focus towards the top lane with the Vladimir and Darius bans here. Trying to make sure that this is my account does not get to the pick that he wants here. Echo gonna get locked in though here. And this is actually kind of interesting. The Volibear can play jungle, right? The Echo can play jungle. And the Volibear can play top when the Echo can play top. So we can see literally
mid.
Exactly. We could literally see a mid pick, a jungle pick, or a top pick here. So Ironic has been extremely flexible with this draft here, being able to utilize the power of these flex to deny an all outright counter pick from the side of World Class.
Yeah, this one is looking very interesting. Anivia gonna get picked up for that mid lane. I don't know the last time I've seen an Anivia in any game, my own or in amateur or in pro. Anivia is just fun to see, and I'm not really sure how it's working with their comp right now.
It's gonna be really interesting to see. Anivia, just as a mid lane control mage, really wants to farm up consistently throughout the game, be able to scale towards the late game here. And, that kind of goes with the notion of the Vayne as well, right? Both of these kind of scaling carries that you have on your team. But then you have the Kha'Zix, you have the Set, you have the Nautilus that wants to engage on early. So, they've drafted themselves a little bit of late game insurance and then also a little bit of early game pressure in the form of the Set, Nautilus, Kha'Zix picks. Ironic now, though, knowing where these champions are going, they have the counter pick ready for themselves. They can pretty much choose whatever they want here. Renekton gonna get locked in, and this is interesting. All right, it's a Volibear jungle, an Echo mid, a Renekton top. That's what I'm gonna call it right here.
Yep, and you know what? I'm gonna set up some conditions for me to give out some gifted subs on the chat. So here's the 2 conditions. 1, because Kha'Zix was my first ever main. If he manages to get, let's say, 7 kills, lucky number 7, I'll gift a sub. And if the Volibear ends up going down the mid lane, that'll be a 2nd sub. That's the promise for tonight, because if there's a Volibear in the mid lane, I will have to mute my mic and go laugh myself silly somewhere else for a good minute. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it is going to be Echo in the mid lane. And really, World Class, I want to root for them just for the sentimentality of it. But I feel like Ironic's got the stronger draft here.
Yeah, honestly, I really do believe that. The Lucian Braum is such a potent combination. He's able to stack up the Braum passive so quickly. The Vayne could find herself in a little bit of trouble there if she finds a Winter's Bite landing on her. Alternatively, right, the Braum can dash in front of the Lucian with the Stand Behind Me available to him to be able to avoid Lucian getting caught by dredge lines. And alternatively, if Braum's too far away, Lucian can always just use the Relentless Pursuit to get himself behind the minion wave or get himself out of the dredge line. So, it really comes down to, I think, this bot lane from the side of Ironic to kind of make the plays and outplays to win that lane. Alternatively, towards the top side, which I'm going to assume is the Renekton versus Set matchup here. Renekton, very much an early game champion, wants to be able to win lane and win game, dominate his opponent with an early game gold lead, knock down his tower, and then immediately begin the roaming.
Yep, and again, I still like Ironic's draft more, just looking at them both. I'm not really sure what the theory of World Class's draft is here. You've got a decent engage on the Nautilus. Anivia can give you a lot of team fight pressure. Kha'Zix, though, a lot of his abilities are centered around getting picks. If his enemy is not alone, then it is going to look just kind of weak. I love Kha'Zix, but I just don't feel like he was a good pick here, especially not into what is been revealed to be, yes, it is the Volibear jungle, so that's one less sub for the chat. But Echo in the mid lane against Anivia, I don't like Anivia's chances there. If Anivia does not have the right mechanics, I think Echo wins that one pretty hard.
I like how you're so excited. You're like, one less sub for the chat. My bank account feels really, really good right now. But overall, just taking a look at the compositions, right? It is kind of confusing, right? You look at the world-class draft, like you said, it's confusing to look at. You're not really sure what the goal, what the objective is here. Up towards the top side of the map, Renekton really has some pretty good ability to kind of be able to get himself away from danger with Ripid Slash. So, how does Kha'Zix get completely successful ganks off without Renekton just either, walking away or flashing away or using his E that's on cooldown to just get himself out of danger? I think it's going to really have to come up off the back of Set being able to get the face breaker first. To be able to set up those ganks appropriately. And then in the mid lane, you have this Echo that can just go on back with Chrono Break. Very, very hard and difficult to gank post 6. So maybe they try to put some pressure there in the mid lane before that Echo is able to hit a power spike. I'm not really sure. It's going to be a hard game here for the Kha'Zix.
Yeah, and it also looks like it's going to be a hard game for the bot lane of World Class, because it's a Vayne Nautilus against a Lucian Braum. Vayne's range is not great. Lucian's really is, especially on his ultimate. And if he and Braum are, like I was saying earlier, if they're able to play around this correctly, and Nautilus is not able to find a good hook onto Lucian, that one's going to go down. I feel like the bot lane is a lot more based on mechanics, though, whereas the rest of the field, this kind of feels like a draft win from Ironic, but I don't really know. I can't really tell here, and that's what's kind of killing me. I want to get into this game so badly.
I do too, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, our spectator delay timer will be starting here shortly. We're going to be getting everything ready on our end to be able to give you the third and final game here of the XLNC Mid Testing Grounds, game number 3. On the backside of this intermission, we will see you on Summoner's Rift. Ladies and gents, do not go anywhere, and we will be right back.
So hold on to me. Never let me close your eyes. Only got one night. Just put your trust in me. Give me everything. I need your love tonight. So baby, please don't fight it. Put your trust in me. I'll give you everything. So hold on to me. Never let me go, right here in your arms is where I wanna be. close your eyes. Only got one night, just put your trust in me. Give me everything, I need your love tonight. So baby, please don't fight it, put your trust in me. I'll give you everything, so hold on to me. Never let me go, right here in your arms is where I wanna be.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Idea PC, joined here by Ars and Kelly here on the casting desk, and we are gearing up here for a game number 3 in the finals here in week number 3. And we have World Class Outlaws versus Ironic here. Both of these teams undefeated here in week number 3.
Yep, and I'm really interested to see how this one goes. But first, I think we need to pay a little bit of homage to our favorite skins as this game gets started. Since, it's just the regular line of scrimmage, not too much to talk about anyway. First off, I love the Kha'Zix skin. The championship Kha'Zix has always been one of my favorites, but also Anivia rocking that little bit of black fire. I love it so much.
Come on, man. Where's the love for the firecracker vein?
I mean, it's nice, but I don't know. It just doesn't speak to me in the same way. You know?
All right. Well, maybe it's because you don't speak Chinese. I don't know. It is a Chinese skin. It's a Chinese derived inspired skin. So I would understand if it doesn't speak to you. It makes sense. But overall here, these teams getting ready to gear themselves up. There is the late game here for the side of World-Class Outlaws. They have the Anivia with her amazing clear speed. She can do very, very well in the siege. The Vayne also with the true damage can really be getting things popping off with those silver bolts. And overall, this Kha'Zix Reels, he's going to be looking to try and get some early ganks, I'm imagining, towards the bottom side of the map. But they have to have some vision control in order to do that. Otherwise, you're just going to get Winter's bited by the Braum, and he's going to slow you down, and they're all going to run away.
Yep, and already we are seeing a little bit of that outrange happening in the bot lane. Kathy just doesn't have the same range as Dirk does down there, and it's showing a little bit. I don't think we're going to see any big ramifications from it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing those soon.
Absolutely here. Yeah, good damage actually coming out here from Chris Meister. Hope we get the damage off here. Winter's Bite, though, going to land, and there it is. I mean, that's exactly what you expect to see with Braum Lucian. Knocking shot down below 100 HP there. So effectively and quickly able to get the Braum passive stack. You get the burst of damage coming out. And talking about bursts of damage here, Freshburger getting the better of the Renekton up in the top lane here. Able to go toe for toe. The damage coming out, but no deaths here, despite these very active lanes.
I'm sorry, they were going what for what now? Toe for toe?
Going toe for toe. going toe for toe. Yeah, toe to toe. Then first blood now going on over to Freshburger. Yeah, get me distracted. Going toe to toe in the top lane, and the first blood for a gray screen as well. Going there, not the way of this is my third account. Renekton gonna fall, but Yasuke now looking for it. Do they get the stun? Yes, they do. The flash though coming out from Freshburger, and the haymaker gonna give him the shield. No turnaround though needed. I feel like they could have timed that just slightly better to be able to layer the CC, and maybe they got the kill out of Freshburger.
Yep, and it looks like he's actually gonna find Kha'Zix there in the river. I think they're battling over the scuttle just a little bit right there.
Yep, teleport now, though. Coming back in from this set. Yasuke, though, going to take a lot of damage. Real's able to get big deeps off there, but the shield going to keep him relatively healthy here. The stun from Kha'Zix is a possibility here, but now 3 for 2. Volibear going to get stunned up and slashed through, eviscerated by this Kha'Zix, getting himself the kill. 6 more to go.
Yeah, that was too skillful for my bank account to feel safe right now. That was just a great play from Reels. Nivea coming in just to stun him up, do a nice little chunk of burst there. That was all he needed to finish that one off. And really, Yasuke just kind of overstayed there. He felt a little bit too secure with Mr. Snowhat coming. Speaking of Mr. Snowhat, he will take a little bit of damage from Ka as well.
Yeah, you really have to hand it here to Reels. He's able to get some good priority here. He won the scuttle battle up top. Gets the kill on his opponent jungler. Kind of flexing those muscles a little bit here and there. And, he's got the CS advantage as well. So he's been able to get some successful ganks off, get some successful damage on Mr. Snowhat. And I'd say it's a pretty good early game here for the Kha'Zix.
Yeah, but in the bot lane, I'm not seeing that as much. Instead, Shot, he looks a little scared. He looks a little timid. The only time I've seen him use his hook so far was to get away from the Braum. That's not really what you want to see down in the bot lane. While the Kha'Zix may be strong, the bot lane, it's not feeling that same kind of strength, at least not right now, which I guess is why Reels is kind of hanging out down there, seeing if he can make something happen.
Yep. Ward there in the tri-bush, though, should spot him out. You don't see the pings yet on the map. It could just be verbal communication, though, with the teams in Discord. Kha'Zix, though, spawning down towards the bottom side of the map here. Some question mark pings going over the Drake as well, as it is post 5 minutes. Volibear's not been seen on the map for a little while now. But it's going to get the Squire's Boom popped on over it. But overall, I mean, we were talking about this bot lane, right? And, if I'm Shot, level 1, my morale might feel a little damaged after almost dying under my tower at level 1. So, there is just that amazing early game potential from the Braum Lucian combo. And actually up towards the top side, Freshburger's going to get the early level 6 here. This is my account, going to take quite a bit of damage there. is going to fall to about half HP. Should be able to heal up just a little bit here passively in the lane with the Doran's Blade. But he's not going to be able to out-heal the fresh burger up here on the top side.
Yeah, and we are going to see a little bit of collapse onto the account right there. They're going to find Yasuke first. He's running for his life.
Coming in for it now. There's the damage. Reels now 2-0. 5 more to go before someone else in the chat gets a sub. But you really got to take a look at this right here. Kha'Zix, again, just being extremely proactive in the early game.
Yeah, that was just an amazing play right there. Chris Meister came in exactly where he needed to. They kind of knew the plan already going in, and then Reels came in, and right now my bank account is just kind of laughing in the back of the bus like, I'm in danger. And speaking of danger,
Chris Meister, you're going to take some damage in the mid lane. Still has the egg available. Dredge line, though, from Shot. Not going to quite land, but Winter's Bite will. No follow-up going to come in here. Reels waiting in the wings. Maybe we see the fight getting baited out here, but it looks like they will just disengage.
Yeah, and for right now, I'm not really seeing anything that's making me super worried, at least for either team. We will see the call come down for Mr. Dirk in the bot lane there. That's probably a good play. Get himself a little extra gold. He's already ahead in minion kills as it is. Oh, and there's Shot using his hook to get away again. I don't want to keep seeing that. I mean, it's not like he has much of a choice, but it's not great to see.
Absolutely. Looking towards the top side, more trading coming out between these two pairs. Renekton just hitting level 6. Freshburger right now on the set is currently sitting at 7.5 levels. He's halfway to level 8. He is a whole level and a half ahead of this Renekton in the top lane. Granted, a lot of that is due to the deaths, and I mean, it's been a little while since we checked in and we looked at CS, but Set has right now a 35 CS advantage against the Renekton in the top lane. That is not a good time for Renekton, an early game lane bully.
Yeah, especially since he hasn't been able to build any armor yet. Renekton really kind of needs at least a little bit of armor, depending on how you're building him, to be able to go up toe-to-toe with a Set. He hasn't been able to build any yet. Right now, all he has is a little bit of lifesteal to help keep him going, but he's just not getting the minions right now. He really needs that very badly. But also, something that's going to happen pretty soon here. Looks like Chris is finding Yasuke out.
Yep, there it comes. Some damage. Nice damage coming in here. Got to be careful. Yeah, I don't know if you want to clear that ward or stick around for too long, my friend. Gonna just back off away here, looking for his Krugs. But that signals the go button here for world-class Outlaws on the Rift Herald.
More importantly, for about a minute now, Yasuke can't disable those towers. He had to use it to get away, just to save his own life. Speaking of saving a life right here, in the top lane, looks like there's a little bit of damage.
Showstopper coming in from Freshburger in the flash with the Haymaker. The damage devastating here, waiting for that Renekton ult to expire here. Reel's looking for number 3. Arkalezi, I'm so sorry, my friend. It looks like it's going on over on a killing spree now on this Kha'Zix. 4 more to go. Give me more.
On the one hand, the nostalgia courses through my veins. On the other hand, the money seems to be coursing out of my hands over here. I just hate to see it. Speaking of things I hate to see, they're under tower. Shot, just poke one of them. Kathy can take it from there. Just a little poke with your hook, and then suddenly their feet are stuck to the ground. It's a little bit of magic right there. But no, he's not even going to do that, and looks like they're actually going to move it over to the Drake here.
Yep, looking to get some of that priority here. Anivia, though, going to be able to effectively clear out this wave pretty dang on easy. And trade some damage on over to Mr. Snowhat as well. Volibear, though, still coming and chugging his way back from base here after he finished up the blue buff. And overall, man, this could actually kind of be dangerous here. Echo is going to have to force recall here just because Anivia has so much pressure, which makes it really, really hard for them to actually be able to get the engage. Volibear, they're going to be spotted out on the control, which means that this world-class Outlaws bottom lane should not get caught out. And I think this is just kind of be another lull state in the game. Volibear now actually going to go and start up the dragon here.
Yep, and we will see Blitz just trying to hold them off down there in the bottom lane. Kathy is held off by that approaching wave, and Shot does try to come in. I like the spirit here, and we're going to see the teleport in.
Teleport now coming down in. Will it go on over? Yes, it does. Volibear able to get the smite down onto that objective there. Has it pulled on through, but the kills are coming in for the side of world-class Outlaws. And Shot is no longer shook as he's managing to land his dredge lines, getting the kills going his way. And right now, 7-0 here for the side of world-class Outlaws, trying to make it 8 here on Snow Hat, but that's not going to happen quite just yet. Rift Herald going to get called on down here in the mid lane. Anivia with her amazing clear will be able to make that one happen. The stun landing, the electric proc, not going to be quite enough to get the kill, but the tower plate's going on over to Chris Miser and our good old support Shot.
And up in the top lane, it feels, just so bad. Account is down 50 CS, 3 levels, and one full blade of the Ruined King. He has no way to fight back against this right now. He has no way to protect his own tower. If Fresh wanted to, all he has to do is turn around and punch him in the face right now. But instead, he's going to punch that tower down.
He's completely ignoring the Red Ecton. He's actually just completely ignoring the Ecton. He's going to solo kill him? Oh my goodness. Fresh Burger, what are you?
We were warned.
No fear.
We were warned.
He's got no fear in his heart. It's just styled on the Renekton up in the top lane. It's not even close.
We were warned in the chat that set on Mr. Fresh Burger was going to be something to behold. I wasn't sure. I believed it, but I'm a believer. That was so terrible. He was standing under the turret, just punching his fists into rock while a blade scoured his back, and he didn't even care to notice.
But now here it comes, the dive from the Volibear, able to get the damage down. Or no, I'm sorry, I misread my champions there. Shot though, gonna get caught out here, and is gonna fall there to the Volibear this time. Chris Miser gonna do his best to try and disengage from the fight. I swear I heard the Volibear ultimate come down in mid lane, and my brain just like went brain dead, and then I look up and Volibear's in the dragon pit, and I thought it was a dive, and anyway. So with all that being said, though, finally though, we do see Ironic getting themselves here on the board, able to pick up some kills down there on the bottom side of the map. Kills going on over to Mr. Snowhat, and a kill going on over to the Lucian, giving themselves a little bit of the injection of gold, and some much needed gold at that.
Yep, they really did need it. And while that must feel good for the side of Ironic, World Class is still looking world class out here right now. They're up almost 5k gold as of this moment, and they've got so much good control. And here's Fresh Burger. It looks like he might be found out here by Volley.
Yep, looking forward here. Volibear using the Blast Cone, though, trying to get away from Chris Miser, and Chris Miser alone. Looking for the stuns here. There's the Blade of the Ruined King slow there. Able to get it. The Showstopper coming in. Trying to find it. The Facebreaker surely to come out. Yes, it will. The damage coming in. Anivia there to block it all off. And Chris Miser cakes the kill credit up towards the top side of the map. Yasuke gonna fall down here in the top lane.
Yep, I was a little skeptical of the Anivia. I wasn't really sure what it was supposed to do for this composition, but now I know this one, they really just needed someone to take care of the team fights. That's what Anivia is good for, while everyone else just picks up any kill they want. Speaking of any kill they want,
Rushburger going in, again, like we said, absolutely no fear on this guy. Rio's looking for number 4, not able to try to make it there, though, on Mr. Snowhat. Does have the ultimate available, can just back up, off, and away. This is my third account, able to close the distance by 1 level there, able to pick up level 9, but still 2 levels behind the set, and a handful of experience. And, it's just such a lull state in the game here. At least down towards the bottom side of the map, they were able to pick themselves up a tower. And as long as they don't die under their turrets here in the mid and top lanes, then, that push down towards the bottom side, completely worth it. Gives them a little more gold in their pockets. Is able to close that gold lead just a little bit more in their favor. Right now, a 5k gold deficit, though, at 15 minutes is still a dominating early game from the side of World Class Outlaws.
Yep, speaking of that early game, 25 seconds until the Ocean Drake comes to grace us with its presence. And it doesn't look like it'll be doing much gracing. Ironic setting up for it very early here. They are not getting matched out right now, but there are a few pings coming around, so it looks like there might be a little bit of a skirmish over this Drake.
Yep, absolutely here. They have right now A little bit of vision control, but the scuttle there will give them the go here. That's okay. Lucian going to get caught out there in the mid lane. This set absolutely having a dominating performance right now. Just able to run down whoever he wants. Blade of the Ruined King slow there, obviously helping with that eventual goal in mind. But this looks like a pretty easy Ocean Dragon here for the side of World Class Outlaws as they pick themselves up their first dragon of the game.
Yep, and we won't even see the Rift Herald started in retaliation. Instead, it looks like Yasuke just wants that blue buff, and I guess he's going to get it. Because who's going to contest the blue buff right now? They're moving straight over towards that Rift Herald, and it looks like they're going to meet him there, almost.
Yeah, they do have to be a little bit careful here. The Kazakhs, the Set are all on the bottom side of the map. Now, granted, Set does have his teleport available. Vayne going for the top swap here, so we are seeing that going and occurring. A dredge line, though, there, going to land onto this is my third account. The damage is absolutely devastating. Oh, my goodness. This is Anivia, absolutely huge here. Swordy sitting on the Rod of Ages. Pre-16 minutes. She already has one stack in that. The Sorcerer's Shoes and the Tear of the Goddess doing very, very well for themselves. Lucian, pew, 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 trying to get himself away from the Set, who's all big and scary for a very good reason. And Reels gonna find himself backing away here. Not gonna give his first death of the game, but Mr. Snowhat, maybe a little bit of an int there. I'm not sure. You know, he tried.
That was wonderful positioning from Chris and Shot right there. As soon as Echo retreated, he was found. That was so beautiful. I loved every part of that. Shot really... Did I say he was looking a little timid in the early game? He's not anymore. He's out there where he needs to be, landing the hooks and the slams that he should be delivering. I love it. I love all of it. And I'm so glad to see it finally happening.
It is, and this is my third account here, trying to go toe-to-toe with Freshburger. The Flash and Show! Stop her, baby! Freshburger is on a rampage, 4-0-3 on the Set, making stuff happen in the bottom lane. Trying not to curse on stream. It is a learned skill, ladies and gentlemen. But that is going to be priority now, going on over to the side of World Class Outlaws. They're going to find out the bot lane of Ironic here, and now he is unstoppable. Picking himself up another kill there, and one going on over to Chris Miser on the Anivia.
Wow, they were just caught out there. It really felt like Freshburger was just waiting for the perfect opportunity. He found it and he delivered on it. And we will see Shelly coming to life in the mid lane right there, going to take down that turret as Reels is just really clearing jungle camps at this point. And he hasn't really been in part of these picks, but oh, it looks like he wanted to be right there.
Yeah, the teleport going to be coming out there from the Anivia, trying to find out the volley bear, but he's going to run as fast as he can. He's not the gingerbread man, Mr. Snowhat. Learning exactly the kind of problems that their poor old Renekton has been having all game long. Freshburger, though, if he just keeps getting kited here by the Lucian, this could be some trouble here. He's dead. He's got to be dead. Yes, there it is. Shut down now. Going on over to DRK573. And Volley Bear there with the thundering smash coming on down, trying to get something going here. Reels, though, has the damage. Can he get his fourth kill of the game? No, Kathy will pick that one up. You're getting lucky. You're getting lucky. The Kazakhs not finding the kills here in the mid game.
Yeah, he was there for that one, but he just didn't have the speed to make it happen. My thanks to World Class Esports for just thinking about my bank account in this game. And they are at a position to pick and choose who gets the kills right now. And speaking of that position, let's take a quick look at some items. We will see the Triforce get finished for Burger up in the top lane. You'll love to see it. Azik, he's just finally finished his jungle item. He's starting to build up to his next one. I believe it's going to be a Black Cleaver for him. We'll see the Blade of the Ruined King is already finished for Kathy. I'm not sure what he's building next. Is that Gunshoes, I think? Gunshoes Rage Blade getting built?
Honestly, taking a look at this, it may actually be.
That's going to be an interesting build there. I'm very happy to see that one, though. It's really what you need on Vayne because of those 3 hits. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's all you want to see for the rest of the game. And of course, Shot already finishing his Knight's Vow. He's got his movement boots. Speaking of some movement,
Yep, coming on through here. Freshburger finding it all, but Shot gonna find the dredge line and make Chris Miser unstoppable. Depth charge will steal Blitz's fate, and that's the kill. Double kill now for Chris Miser as Freshburger 1v3s, but doesn't find anything. Unfortunately, he will fall down there, almost getting the better of the volleyball there, but able to survive just by the skin of his teeth.
Yep, and he even looks a little weak going up against the minions right now, but it did exactly what they needed it to do. They move on down towards the Drake now as World Class Esports is happy that their set was found, and now Shot looks like he's looking at Mr. Snowhat.
Yep, looking for it now. The damage is just coming through, and I mean, you get Dredge Line. Anivia's right there. She follows up with the stun. You're just dead. I mean, this Anivia is completed her Archangel Staff. The Rod of Ages still stacking as this continues to go on. The Sork Shoes there means that she's being able to penetrate through some of that base magic resist that you just occur over time. And it makes this Anivia very, very deadly and quite a unstoppable force when it comes to being able to push waves and constantly have Prior.
Yep, it's so hard to see this one going. And right now it looks like they're actually going to call for Baron? That's an interesting move on the side of Ironic. They're just going to unironically set up for Baron right here. Reels is going to find them out, though. He's just going to hop away and back off.
Yep, absolutely here. Going to be looking for something. Trying to find it. Reels able to get some pretty decent damage onto, this is my third account. Renekton still pretty severely underleveled, but Reels just stepping up into 5 members. Shutdown going on over to the side of DRK here on the Lucian. Anivia, though, able to kite effectively here with the ultimate. Able to find the stun, able to find the damage. There it is, coming on over. He is now legendary, set with the teleport, able to find the flank here. Double kill here for Chris Miser, and the turnaround is real. World-class Outlaws here with the showstopper in the pit. Going on golden, but they will not find the kill. Actually, that was a pretty nice flash there from Blitz. I was 100% expecting him to be dead, but this Baron surely will fall, as a one-team fight for World-Class Outlaws is going to net them the first Baron of the game.
Yep, I don't really have a whole lot to say about that fight. Both teams made some big mistakes. Ironics was being there in the first place. World Classes was that Real stepped in to the fight there. He didn't really have a target. He didn't have anywhere to go, and he found 4 people collapsing on him in an instant. But still, he was the bait that led to the trap, that led to the deaths and the Baron. So really, it was a mistake, but they capitalized on it so well on the side of World Class. And even it kind of looked a little bit intentional, I might say. I don't know that it was, but I don't know why else Kazik would walk back into that fight.
Yeah, it was a little bit sketchy there. Luckily, just the rest of his solo laners are so ridiculously far ahead that it almost doesn't even matter. I mean, if we want to really take a look at the gold here overall across the board, even the Cossacks, right? 1,500 gold ahead of the Volibear. Set 5k gold ahead of the Renekton, which is ridiculous. Yusuke, though, gonna get pulled in with the showstopper. A nice depth charge there from the Nautilus, able to find himself the kill down onto the Lucian, and they are getting the kills. They are getting the access. Echo trying to go in, but he's gonna get stunned, rooted up, and will have to ship away here, but the damage is real. Chris Miser actually able to pick that one up. Showstopper coming on, and this is my third account. Will fall as Freshburger finds himself another one here in the mid lane. Baron up, minions now in the base. Respawn timers have a while to go, and they're going to be able to knock at least the inhibitor. They may be looking for the Nexus. They may be looking to end right here.
I don't know that I've even seen Chris go down once. I don't think I've even seen him go into his egg. He's just been so dominant here, and it's not even funny. But as they get chased out now,
yep, there it is. Stormbringer coming in from the Volibear to start this one off. But the power from Freshburger able to lock up these members. Blitz dangerously low here. Will go down. The Lucian ultimate not quite there on target. The dredge line just so close to landing. Not able to find him out of position there. Health bar is a little bit low here. And this is my third account. Actually has left the game. I'm not sure if this is intentional or if this is actually happening right now, but there is a disconnect from the game. I do not know if there's going to be a pause. Okay, he's reconnected. All right. Woo. They're not AFK in game 3.
but they have agreed to a surrender.
ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
I wanted to see the Nexus explode, though. We can't always get what we want, but in this case, world-class Outlaws do get what they want. They're able to pick themselves up the win here against Ironic. And you know what? They were able to make it happen. The pressure, I'd say, from the Lucian Braum bot lane was there, but it did not net them any significant gains, in the form of kills and permanent pressure. And the Kha'Zix was able to repeatedly gank the mid and top side of the map for that pressure. But, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it on over to our analyst desk here to break it down and what you just saw there in game number 3. So with that being said, I'm the Idea PC, joined by Arza Kelly here on the casting desk. Analyst desk, take it away.
Thank you very much, Idea PC and Arza Kelly, for the cast tonight as we go into the analysis of this game. Before the game, I was talking with Jakumi and I said, world-class Outlaws have a much harder comp to execute on, not because it's not a real team comp per se, but because everyone has a very specific role in this comp and they need to execute on that role perfectly. You have an Anivia, you have a Vayne, they need to either go even or lose lane gracefully, and you need to snowball this Kha'Zix in the set. That's what we saw this game. Even play from the Anivia and the Vayne in that early game, snowball the Kha'Zix in the set. By 11 minutes, each of these champions had 2 kills apiece, and at that point, the game's over.
Yeah, it was around the 11-minute mark, was it? I can't remember myself. Where I think Anivia had that stun on I think it was Volibear? Yeah.
That Anivia, by the way.
Oh my god.
One trick. I am an Anivia 1 trick. I am so upset I didn't get to cast this game because I am the Anivia 1 trick. So I always like to say Anivia doesn't have any winning matchups. She either goes even, or she loses gracefully, or she loses hard. If you can lose gracefully to an Echo, or go even with an Echo, which is possible because Echo doesn't really have an escape, and Anivia has the ability, if you are very good at holding your Q, to punish Echo's early game aggression, you can basically neutralize that lane. And then you saw wave pressure once she got level 6, roaming up towards the top side of the map, securing kills for the 2 other people on that top side of the map. Meanwhile, the Vayne just did her thing throughout the game. Obviously didn't look to be the most damage in that game. Most damage, of course, going on my best burb, Anivia. That being said, right, Ironic, let's talk about their comp for a bit here. Had a comp where they just needed to snowball 1 lane, and they didn't quite do that. What do you necessarily think could have been the missing part? What do you think they could have adjusted to potentially have snowballed a lane there?
Having some form of late game assurance, because basically everybody on Ironic kind of falls off later on in the game, like Renekton around 20 minutes and Lucian around 25.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much really going for them besides you need to win early.
Yeah, it's difficult to do that when you have Volibear and jungle. You have 3 lanes that should win, even if it's so slightly, right? You have Renekton into set where if there is no jungle pressure, it's a skill matchup. And then you see, and we saw Freshburger is very good on that set, getting first blood. And then the regank from the Volibear, the flash haymaker under tower to stay alive was so good. But on top of that, right, you have this Lucian Braum, which should be able to win bot lane, should be able to get priority and give the early objectives over. We saw them able to capitalize on that bot priority to get the first dragon, but from there on out, it seemed like this Lucian Braum was out of the game.
Yeah. The nature of the Lucian, like I said before, he needs to be that bully and needs to forcefully get himself ahead.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Ironic, they couldn't really force themselves into this game. World Class Outlaws, once again, this isn't even a slight towards Ironic. World Class Outlaws just played that comp perfectly. There are so many minutia to that comp that you have to make sure, certain things spike at certain times in the game. They were able to hit all of their power spikes appropriately and basically just steamroll this game. World Class Outlaws, really well done. Personally, I'm going to have to give the MVP of the night to Reels. He had 2 really solid games between that second game of the night and tonight's finals. Chris Meister, of course, did very well both of those games as well, and we see the top damage. But I don't think this game would have nearly gone as well, or the last game without Reels playing out of his mind in the jungle.
Yeah, I'd have to wholeheartedly agree with you.
All that being said, though, that's all the time we have here tonight at XLNC. So, from everyone here at the XLNC Esports broadcasting server, that would be Jake Kelton, the league staff, the production crew, Arza Kelly, Idea PC. My name is Finnick.
And I'm Jakumi.
And we will see you next Monday for the XLNC Lightweight testing grounds, as well as this Thursday for the heavyweights. See you then.